All right, what's going on, everybody? Y'all sit back. I'm gonna get the story ready to give y'all like a rundown of what's kind of going on through the AI. Make sure y'all hit that like button. You know what I'm saying, for the free 99. And shout out to Erica Smith. You know what I'm saying. Welcome to being a bronze member. Shout out to Shalene Bailey, Hutchie, and Shonda. What's good? What's good? So for everybody else, hit that like button and enjoy the story. And we're going to get started. We want to first give all praises and honor to Google Gemini. You know what I'm saying? Without Google Gemini, we would not be here. Okay. Shout out to Google Gemini. I am a premium subscriber to Google Gemini, and I'm also a YouTube premium subscriber as well. All right. You know what I'm saying? As a YouTube, we got to give honor to, to a big brother that is listening, which is Google Gemini. We're going to talk a lot about that. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button. What's going on, Trish? What's going on? I'm here for it. 74. That's what's up. What's up? You know what I mean? Yeah, Judge FEFE got flagged, and then some more coming down the pipe. You know what I'm saying? She want to play around with certain things that are bullying and harassing. If you go to my community wall, you'll see that link where that video has been removed for bullying and harassment. And we're going to talk about a whole bunch of changes. You know what I'm saying? A whole lot of changes going on. All right. And we're going to talk about fake lawsuits, all of that. You know what I mean? But let me not talk as much. I'm going to get started. Shout out to 74 with that $10 super chat already in the building. You know what I'm saying? Flower power up in this. We got a whole lot of flower power up in here. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to everybody. And yeah, so let me go ahead and get started. I'm a love bum y'all all day. Y'all know how I am. You know what I mean? Let's get started. You know how the pastor be like, oh, like somebody like, good evening, good morning, everyone, in the church. You know what I'm saying? At the Hilltop Missionary Baptist Church. I want to give our praises and honor to Google Gemini. You know what I'm saying? Google Gemini is watching us. That's our pastor. You know what I'm saying? I say I'm the emperor of sectors, but, it's the emperor of YouTube. You know what I mean? So, yeah, we're going to talk about the changes and everything. But let's get started. Y'all heard enough from me.
There are corners of the internet that never appear in headlines, yet shape the unfiltered underbelly of online culture. These corners thrive in chaos, places where anonymity becomes armor, conflict becomes currency, and the loudest voices often rise from the darkest shadows. For years, small clusters of these creators operated freely, untouched and unexamined, tucked beneath the radar of mainstream digital law enforcement. Their world was built on drama, impersonation, provocation, humiliation, and escalating personal attacks. All broadcast live to cheer audiences.
Google Gemini, I'm a real human being.
Entertainment. But in the year 2025, something changed. Something systemic, larger than any creator, larger than any feud, larger than the algorithms they once manipulated. A new force had entered the YouTube ecosystem, a force called Google Gemini, and the ripples of that change would collide with one of the most chaotic, volatile, and self-destructive subcultures in the platform's history. A micro sector of dark comedy, pseudo-legal posturing, live-stream gambling, cruel exposes, fake trials, and weaponized personal information. The story begins long before Gemini was activated. It begins with a woman, an attorney, or at least a woman presenting herself as one who had discovered that the drama sector of YouTube was more profitable than any courtroom. She did not simply comment on conflict, she escalated it. She framed herself as a legal authority, a woman capable of delivering judgments against creators she disliked, and positioned her live streams as a kind of moral tribunal. Each broadcast intensified, each accusation grew more theatrical, and her audience, hungry for spectacle, watched as her rhetoric sharpened into something far more dangerous. From her platform, she spoke not with evidence but with performance. She invoked prosecutors, detectives, and unnamed legal teams as if they were soldiers standing behind her. She declared she was going after creators, that she would shut channels down, and announced plans to file lawsuits against anyone who criticized her. Soon, a narrative formed that she was the moral warrior, and anyone who opposed her was part of a criminal conspiracy. But dramatic monologues rarely remain solitary. They pull in collaborators, voices eager to amplify the chaos. One such collaborator was a digital provocateur known as Judge Ninja Turtle. A personality in her own right, she enjoyed the role of hype woman, punctuating the attorney's accusations with threats of her own. In one live stream, her voice sharpened as she delivered a chilling proclamation, "I got something for Octavius." The chat erupted. No one questioned what she meant. In a world built on passive aggression and veiled threats, everyone already understood. And that was where the escalation began. Hours later, another figure entered the fray. Judge FEFE, a creator whose online presence was already marred by allegations of harassment and reckless commentary. Where others hinted, she acted. She posted what would become the turning point of the entire saga: the full name, address, and personal financial information of a YouTube creator known as Octavius Prime, as well as similar information belonging to a creator known simply as
for that $5
In the
super
dark
chat.
corners of YouTube, doxing was not new.
Appreciate
But this
it.
instance was different. Not just because of the severity of the leak, but because of the timing, the method, and the disturbing coordination of voices linked to the attorney's circle. The doxing did not arrive as a random act of trolling. It arrived immediately after the public threats, immediately after the attorney's escalating rhetoric, immediately after Judge Ninja Turtle's message. I got something for Octavius. For observers, the pattern was undeniable. And yet, in 2025, this type of incident no longer lived in a vacuum. Because while the attorney and her affiliates escalated, another force quietly watched from the shadows, not a person but a system. A neural architecture. A machine designed to detect patterns far more subtle, far more insidious than human moderators could
Listen,
track.
listen, y'all, listen.
And Gemini had begun to reshape YouTube in ways most people never anticipated. For years, YouTube struggled to control its most toxic subcultures. Policies existed, but enforcement was inconsistent. Harassment, doxing, child sexualization, hate speech. These issues festered in the algorithmic blind spots. Creators who operated in these sectors learned how to evade detection. They used coded language, inside jokes, proxy channels, and live streams that expired before human review could catch them. But Gemini changed the game. A multimodal model trained on trillions of tokens, Gemini was capable of analyzing audio tone, text patterns, video cues, comment behavior, metadata anomalies, and behavioral clustering, all in real time. It could detect harassment dynamics before humans recognized the pattern. It could identify coordinated behavior across multiple channels. It could detect doxing attempts from speech alone, even when no text appeared on screen. It could recognize sexual reference patterns involving minors, no matter how coded or jokingly the creators tried to frame them. And in 2025, when Gemini fully integrated with YouTube's moderation system, the platform underwent what many would later call Gemini's doomsday. The collapse of artificially inflated channels, drama sectors, and creators who thrived on harassment. Channels that once seemed unstoppable suddenly vanished. Creators who had manipulated the algorithm for years found their live streams flagged before they ended. Platforms that allowed cruelty became silent. And the attorney's world, a world held together by outrage, intimidation, and moral theater, was directly in Gemini's path. The doxing incident triggered something new in AI-assisted investigation. When private information is posted online, multiple levels of policy state lines. A person in one state leaks the state lines. A person in one state leaks the information of a target in another. The servers hosting the leak operate across multiple jurisdictions. The information posted includes financial, medical, or identifying data. The intent appears retaliatory or malicious. Under these conditions, doxing is not merely a violation of YouTube policy. It intersects with federal cybercrime statutes including interstate harassment laws, cyberstalking provisions, identity exposure and financial privacy acts, unauthorized disclosure of personally identifiable information, and Gemini recognized those patterns. This time, the machine did not merely detect a violation, it detected an escalation, a network, a pattern of intimidation, a cluster of creators repeatedly targeting the same individuals. The attorney's live streams were flagged for aggressive rhetoric. Judge Ninja Turtle's broadcast was scanned for threatening tone and predictive linguistics. Judge FEFE's exposure of personal data triggered.
Now, I want to correct something. The attorney's being referenced as the attorney, so it really doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? So she wasn't flagged, but she was over there doing some real high-powered, hard talk about underage children the other day. That pedo rant she went on the other day, which was horrible. But I want y'all to understand that what's happening now, there is a network now where Google Gemini, and I'll talk about it later on, but the thing is, it's recognizing the bullying and harassment. When I went to flag Judge FEFE for having my stuff up, which I'm justified in doing when bullying harassment, this lady had allegedly my where I live up, calling my address, had AI manipulated pictures of me. You know what I'm saying? Not cartoonish, but like so you could tell it took my real picture and did something with it. So it was a whole bunch of violations, and usually I have to fight with the privacy or copyright for like a couple of days. But I was amazed because it was holiday weekend. I was like, okay, I I'm gonna find some time. I've been doxxed before. All the haters pretty much got the same information. So what I did was I was like, okay, I flagged it and then look at my emails, and then to come find out, yeah, it went through because she was bullying and harassing me, talking about everything. And Google Gemini made it a whole lot easier for me. For one, I don't care about doxers. I don't put y'all information out. I don't care where you live. I don't care who you lay with. Nothing. I don't care nothing about where nobody live. Nothing. I'm just here to do content. But I let it play out. But I want y'all to understand that before it used to take a lot of time to get this done. But I hit the flag button. Google Gemini recognized exactly what I was saying. And I'll tell you what I've said after this is done.
Automatic privacy reports, and then came something unexpected, something the attorney's circle never anticipated. Their own past behavior resurfaced. In the shadows of this escalating conflict, an earlier case emerged. A creator known as Solid Sunnnyi, previously terminated for sexualized comments involving a child, had attempted to return using a new channel. He had once made statements referencing a 3-year-old boy in disturbing, sexualized ways. He had once spoken about lesbian acts he would perform in front of children. And for a moment, he resurfaced through loopholes. But Gemini caught him. His channel, nearing 3,000 subscribers, was shut down once again. This time instantly under the platform's circumvention of termination rule. What once required extensive human review now took seconds. It was not personal, it was not political, it was algorithmic inevitability. And so the attorney, once a force, once a feared figure in her sector, now found herself inside a shrinking world. A world where Gemini judged actions, not theatrics. A world where psychological manipulation no longer granted immunity. A world where the platform that once rewarded drama now punished it. Gemini watched her live streams. It tracked her claims of legal power. It documented her escalation. It connected her proximity to doxing behavior. Not as a judge, not as a human, but as a machine calculating risk patterns and policy violation probability. Meanwhile, creators like Octavius Prime, clear-voiced, on-camera, transparent, fit smoothly into the new era. His presence was visible, his identity was open. He did not rely on drama. He did not weaponize anonymity. His content aligned with the human side of YouTube's updated framework: authenticity, commentary, long-form storytelling. In the new AI-centered ecosystem, authenticity became a currency, and anonymity, once used as a shield for cruelty, began to collapse. Creators who once felt untouchable now found themselves fragile. The attorney's threats sounded hollow. Judge Ninja Turtle's declarations lost momentum. Judge FEFE's doxing became evidence. Because Gemini is not intimidated by theatrics, it does not get tired, bored, or distracted. It does not misplace reports. It does not negotiate. Where humans saw drama, Gemini saw pattern recognition. And it acted. This is where the story shifts, not toward revenge, not toward retribution, but toward consequence. Doxing is now a red line on YouTube. Not just a community guideline, but a trigger for deeper review, potential platform bans, and in severe cases, referral to external agencies. The platform no longer tolerates creators using private information as a weapon. It no longer excuses harassment disguised as commentary. It no longer allows predators to return under new channels. The attorney's ecosystem, built on intimidation and amplified by her affiliates, collided with the future of digital accountability. Their world was analog. Gemini's world is algorithmic, and algorithmic systems do not bend for ego. They follow pattern, they follow probability, they follow the code. In the end, the attorney's constant threats of lawsuits became ironic, because while she claimed to bring legal action against YouTube creators, the platform's AI began documenting her behavior for them. This is Gemini's doomsday, the moment an entire dark sector discovered that artificial intelligence had rendered their tactics obsolete. And in the quiet aftermath, as channels vanish, streams are removed, and creators scatter into uncertainty, one truth remains: the era of unregulated digital cruelty is ending, and the machine has already taken its seat on the throne.
All right, so we done with that. The music would end it right on time, but yeah, we had to do a long form on that. Let me come on camera. Yeah, we had to do a long form on that because there was a lot to talk about. So what has been going on? It's been a holiday weekend. I took some time off. I wasn't going to stress myself by burying myself in drama and old stuff that I've rectified multiple times over and over. For example, dealing with Judge Ninja Turtle and even like stressing about what Myjahnee. Now, the story that I wrote, her name was not mentioned. You know what I'm saying? The AI story did have some errors in it. It referred to certain people being boys and stuff like that. Disclaimer. Because we got crybabies that'll look for every angle, to try to like find an angle to put you in a trick bag, So Um, before we get in, I'm going to talk about some small stuff. So when I'm live, I want y'all to know when my eyes are not like this. So when I'm live, this is like a webinar camera. Let me just show y'all real quick. So it's a webinar camera. Sometimes my eyes are looking. This is my real eyes. I'm looking away. All right. So this camera will automatically have me looking into the camera when I got to look around. So for those that want to know, you know, so my eyes are not crazy. All right. So I'm going to turn it back on. You know, it helps people connect. So what has happened as of late? So what I did was I analyzed the video. I wasn't going to sit there and watch Judge Ninja Turtle's video from front to back and be like, oh, okay, yeah. We'd be stressed out, you know what I'm saying? Be stressed out by what, you know, they done doxed us, you know, we done had, and we done had the attorney over there put out, you know what I'm saying, 74's full name and shit without permission and just posted of it, which is a privacy violation as well. And we will rectify that, you know what I'm saying, at some point. But a lot of it, because y'all already know our full names, y'all pretty much know where we live and all that kind of stuff. And so the information is not new because the bullying and harassment, we had to adjust. A lot of content creators, we had to adjust. You know what I'm saying? Y'all make sure you hit that like button. We got over 200 people here. You know what I'm saying? Let's get it, match it. You know what I'm saying? It's for the free 99. Shout out to everybody that donated. But let me get more into it. So it's not a big sweat no more. You know what I'm saying? They done did everything. And one of the reasons why Solid Sunnnyi lost her channel, I wasn't thinking about that lady. You know what I'm saying? I really wasn't. But it came out, her internet boyfriend, what he did the other day, he doxed, maybe like a few weeks ago, he doxed one girl that was behind the scenes with based on a live stream that I did exposing Solid Sunnnyi for her sister went live, a woman named Kari. Kari went live and put the images up. Put an image where it's a faceless image of a little girl's back and you can see the bruises, right? So what happened was I guess they took it as an opportunity to say they said and lied behind the scenes and contacted the FBI from the letter that the dude exposed. They were contacting the FBI trying to make it seem like I posted the little girl on my video. The video is still up. And trust me, these people, the way y'all see they hate me, they would be all over that. I'd be all kind of ediphiles, chomos, and everything. I'll be in jail right now if I did something like that. You know, it'd be so much outrage. And they were lying, contacting the FBI, hitting buttons and stuff like that. All I did was, hey, here's the link to Kari exposing her sister. It had a picture of the little girl's back with bruises on it. And what happened was, what pursued after that, Solid Sunnnyi got on a safety plan. You know what I mean? She admitted it. Her sister admitted it. The videos I did on it months ago are still up. And I really want to think about the lady. Now, I'm the one that I got the dude's information. You know what I'm saying? I got his information. I got every channel he done pretty much had. The URLs to all of them. And, you know, I could just send that over to whoever that, you know, the proper authorities. And the thing is, part of the flag is they are circumventing YouTube guidelines to this day. It's stupid to be here. And with Google Gemini now, they are on everybody's behind. Like FEFE, that would took me like sometimes like a day or two. You know what I'm saying? To wait on the privacy strike to go through. You try to do the bullying and harassment flag. It doesn't work. So I welcome Google Gemini. I don't have no problem turning my camera on. You know what I'm saying? I don't have no problem turning my camera on. I ain't got on the spiffiest clothing. You know what I'm saying? Got a little polo on, but I ain't got on the spiffiest clothing. I don't have no problem getting on camera and speaking in my piece. You know what I'm saying? But with all the changes, like somebody like 74, and like I said, the Latrice Allen sector, for the most part, y'all gonna be good. You know what I'm saying? Even Myjahnee, we're behind, gonna be good. You know what I'm saying? She showed everybody but herself. And she actually showed herself the other day. Somebody sent me a screenshot. She was wearing like a red sweater. And, you know, You know what I'm saying? You know, like look like she had a real good Thanksgiving. You know what I'm saying? Like a belly all swole up. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, she had a lot going on. You know what I'm saying? Like she had the mom bod. You know what I'm saying? And everything like that. Run around here body shaming people. You know what I mean? Talking about I'm body shaming and everything. You know what I mean? Y'all don't see me on camera. Well, I haven't showed my full body as of yet, but that's to come. But anyway, so yeah, I saw how she looking. You know what I'm saying? She big girl now. You know what I'm saying? She BBW. You know what I mean? And you know, I guess she'll have you thinking that hey, maybe you know what I mean. Her and her daughter are 20. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever like that. You know what I'm saying? But you know, baby, your whole mom out here. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? Like you done ate a real good Thanksgiving meal. You done ate all the cakes, the sweet potato pies. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Went to CVS or went to Walgreens or went to wherever. You know what I'm saying? Then went to where else? Went to Walmart, Publix, and got them big fluffy. You know what I'm saying? Them big fluffy marshmallows and put it on. You know, you just didn't want sweet potato pie. You want sweet potato pie with a marshmallow souffle on top of it, baby. You know what I'm saying? And you know, it showed that camera slip showed a bit of, you know what I'm saying, uh, you know what I'm saying, the expansion, you know what I'm saying, your expansion and everything like that. So, you know what I mean, shout out to you. Ain't nothing wrong with that, you know what I mean? Hey, I got on here, I was big myself, you know what I'm saying? I'll get on here big, skinny, whatever. You know what I mean? I'm gonna have some clothes on. That's the one thing I'm gonna do. But yeah, you know, look like you done been eating some burgers and you know what I mean? Like my thing is my recommendation. I know you one of them Starbucks loving people. You know what I mean? Back off the Starbucks. They ain't up a fructose corn syrup. You know what I mean? In that coffee. And them what it is. Them Rice Krispie treats and everything like they tricked me like that too. I was going there, you know, have me some money. Oh, I'm going to Starbucks before I go to work in the market. And I'm sipping my Starbucks. You know what I mean? And then I'm sipping my Starbucks, my stomach like, you know, I'm expanding. You know, we go here. I was going to Starbucks and I was like, while I'm drinking it, you know, I'm just swelling up the whole time. Eating them marshmallow Krispy treats. You know what I'm saying? The whole time, baby. What's going on, Kiki? What's going on in the know with the glow? You know what I mean? What's going on, Rhonda? You know what I mean? Cassie, what's good? Snipes, what's good? You know what I mean? What's good, everybody? Yeah. So, yeah, she been over there expanding and over there just talking all reckless about me. And then, this is the crazy part about it. I guess she was assuming, insinuating that she needed to sue me in 74. And I'm like, lady, do you remember how it all started? You was over there accusing me of committing crimes and that you was going to call the West Palm Beach Police Department. You know what I mean? Pretty much telling everybody where I live. I never announced where I was. You said, oh, I'm going to call the West Palm Beach Police Department on Octavius for practicing law without a license. So I was like, okay, cool. Shout out to Deborah Thompson for that $5 super chat. Love you much. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Yeah, make sure you hit that like button for the free 99. Shout out to all the donators. And like I said, y'all seeing me live on the backup channel. It's all due thanks to the subscribers. You know what I mean? This headset right here, it costs a pretty penny. The other headset, the M5, it costs about $300. Y'all have been contributing to that. I greatly and YouTube, the watch hours, everything. So I'm gonna let you know I appreciate y'all. You know what I mean? You don't have to do what you do, but I appreciate y'all and I try to make things better for y'all. You know what I mean? Moving forward. You know what I mean? So everybody that do know that, don't donate. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't just going to selfish reasons. It's for the platform. You know what I mean? But yeah. So anyway, let's talk about the Solid Sunnnyi, and I'm gonna stay on that for a little bit, and then we'll move on to other things. You know what I mean? Matter of fact, let's talk about Judge Ninja Turtle first. All right, Judge Ninja Turtle inserted herself into this whole thing. You know what I mean? And I am what you call a past master. You know what I'm saying? In masonry, I'm not a mason, but I'm a past master on YouTube. Meaning that, oh, you're a doxer. Oh, okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? Okay, cool. You know, I've been doxed 3 times. You put my information out. Hell, you put Kiki information out. You know what I mean? And right now, 74, unlearning what it is. Who else? Somebody said, thank you, Deborah, for the $2 super chat. You know what I'm saying? Y'all make sure you hit the likes on that. So I've been doxxed a trillion times. Like, yeah, y'all don't call federal government people lying on my name, talking about I'm putting up children pictures on my community wall, I'm putting it on my videos and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm doing all kind of acts of criminality. You know what I mean? When I just hit my live button, just talk and research and show what show statistics and things like that. You know what I mean? And so the thing is, yeah, completely out. Okay, I don't know. The internet kind of tripped on me. I don't know what happened with that. Yeah, but um, yeah. So the doxing thing is null and void now. The police are squatting is null and void. They have called the police on me so much that West Palm Beach Police Department, they could check and know that they know, and they also have a running investigation on those that are calling performing these fraudulent acts. They was calling ACS. There's no one that I live with that is disabled. You know what I'm saying? Nobody. You know what I mean? If you call it ACS, the person has to be a person got to be registered disabled in your home. So they have done that. They have done a whole bunch of things. So there is no ramifications that these doctors have in my real life. You know what I mean? A lot of them are like a bunch of old sissies, you know, down to the diseases from their lifestyle choices and stuff like that. You know what I mean? They mad. You know what I mean? They're mad at their lifestyle. They lonely. You know what I'm saying? Nobody want them. You know what I'm saying? Some of these guys out here, they're disgruntled. You know what I'm saying? They live in lifestyles where they're mad because, you know, they have certain desires and things like that. And they want to man themselves to, you know what I'm saying, to hold them or whatever and kiss them and tell them that everything gonna be all right. And so they just mad at the world, they unloved. And so they see what I got going on, they see I love women, and they hate that shit. You know what I'm saying? So they do whatever they do. But anyway, going forward, what has happened is that Google Gemini is my best friend now. You know? What would take me a long time filling out a privacy complaint, getting refused, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, getting refused, you know, waiting out, like, oh man, gotta wait like 2 or 3 days. Sometimes the privacy people don't even hit you back quick enough. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to you for Miss Thompson for subscribing to the channel. You know what I'm saying? Much love. What's going on, Peaches? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So you know, so what so where we at with the Judge FEFE, you know, she gonna have a hard time on YouTube because her whole thing is she's not a comedian, she can't drag, she don't have no personality, she don't like getting on camera, she got camera shy, you know what I'm saying? And from what I'm hearing, she fighting high blood pressure issues for, you know, she just like around, I think she's around about 600 pounds from what I can see. You know what I mean? She's about 600, 700 pounds herself, maybe bedridden, you know what I mean? But I wish her the best in her journey, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, with a high blood pressure and her weight issues and stuff like that, you know, we ain't no haters over here. So I wish her the best for in her weight loss journey or her high blood pressure journey and you know, whatever that comes with being hyper obese and things like that. As we discussed last time, she sent her nudes out. She's mad too. The internet ain't treating her right. All she know how to do is get on being verified or even talk to certain weirdo attorneys. You may not be Myjahnee. You know what I'm saying? Going Nexus, Lexus and stuff like that, pulling up information that attorneys can pull up. You know, and putting that out there, lying over a nigga name, lying on where they live, lying on what they drive, you know what I'm saying, lying on their relationship, don't know nothing, you know, just like everybody else. And Google Gemini is giving them a hard time for you being a doxer. And I'm gonna tell you what I said. I didn't even use no hellified language. I said, oh my God. I was like, Google Gemini, I said, YouTube, please help. Please help. My life is in danger. This person is posting my information. They post where I live. They post my address. You know what I'm saying? They're posting my address. I'm scared for my life. I'm scared. And I came back. I said, okay, Friday, like Friday morning or Saturday morning. I said, man, I promised a few people things I was gonna do. I said, let me go over here and take care of this video. Then look at one of my emails. You know what I'm saying? And I said, oh, this video has been removed for bullying, for violating terms of bullying and harassment. I said, all glory be to God. You know what I'm saying? I said, that's my God. You know what I'm saying? All these witches and warlocks and stuff like that. I was like, that's my God. You know what I'm saying? My God moved right there. And I was praising God. I said, God, save me the time. Everybody crying about Google Gemini. It's the AI. It's the AI. It's the AI. And thank you, God, for putting me in a position when I was working at Pepsi. They put me, I'm going to tell you, I worked at Pepsi. Sometimes we worked 14 hours. I was over the warehouse. I was what you would call a warehouse certifier, and I was like a manager as well, right? QC manager. I was one of the first to experiment with AI back in 2007. Like it was a basic beta form AI. So me communicating with the machine or computers is nothing new. Thank you so much, Maryland, Washington, for that $2 super chat. Thank you so much, Hutchie, for that $5 super chat. Much love, much love. You know what I'm saying? So she got that. So anyway, they have made it so easy for me to get it done. I don't bother them. I ain't worried about your information. You ain't gonna see me up here. Oh, this is what Judge FEFE lives. Yeah, we're gonna have post up. I'm gonna got the screenshot where they live. You know what I mean? Whatever. You know what I mean? Like, you done did it a million times. You know what I'm saying? You done did it a million times. What's gonna be effective? You don't call the police to the point they looking at like, okay, why y'all harassing police? Like they harassing us now. Okay, they harassing us. Don't worry, Mr. Prime. We are investigating these weirdos. You know what I'm saying? We know what it is. Don't worry about it. You know what I'm saying? We said you're a good citizen and everything like that. You know what I mean? We done came out and checked out everything. You know what I mean? Ain't no disabled people in your house. Ain't no mentally ill people in your house. None of that. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no small children and nothing like that. You know what I mean? You good. So they've been mad ever since then. So they been like, I called the police today, child. You know what I'm saying? Especially that one reject B sector weirdo guy. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, and I had to tell them, I said, bro, like, somebody was like, they was acting like I was too good to speak to certain people over in their sector. You know what I'm saying? Because all the men over there, their wrist is broken. You feel me? Now, my girlfriend, my ex-girlfriend Kiki is from over there. My friend Tracy is from over there. So I had my run-ins with them, and other friends I had, or female friends are from over there. You know what I'm saying? So, I got to know people from over there and everything like that. But he's a certified. Hold up. He's one of them. Let me go ahead. He one of them certified. Them niggas be walking like this, like a pterodactyl. He one of them niggas. Okay? He one of those. You know what I'm saying? He one of those. Okay? That's what he is. All right? You know what I mean? So we turn the camera. He one of them niggas. But anyway, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Tosh Mob in the building. Mommy sector up over here. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the mommy sector. See? You know what I mean? Yeah, they was over there Judge FEFE was over there harassing the woman over there in the mommy sector. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, since she want to get active, you know what I mean, do all that weird stuff. I mean, Judge FEFE, I don't know if you monetize, but what you have been doing, you know what I mean? It might be time for me to, write YouTube and say, hey man, this person have a pattern. They've been messing with me online. You know what I mean? These are all the channels that they have. What you have. All right? You have. You know what I mean? Because I told the truth about you. You didn't want people in the spaces to know that what you had going on with your court cases, what having roaches and feeding tubes and dirty pampers and things like that. You know what I mean? And you were filed as unfit. You know what I mean? And you've been mad ever since then because I told the truth on you. You feel me? Yeah. You know. So yeah, Judge FEFE. Hold on one second. Yeah, I'm back, y'all. Yeah, but Judge FEFE, she getting that pressure from YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Google Gemini is my hero. You know what I'm saying? Um, what I mean? All praises on the YouTube cyberspace. You know what I'm saying? Google Gemini. I actually subscribe to Google Gemini and everything. You know what I mean? Because I am so happy. You know what I'm saying? And Google Gemini is recognizing that these people have been circumventing. These people ain't got nothing to do on the YouTube app. They don't turn their camera on. They ain't producing content. Hell, you can take your camera phone, turn it around, and just like you can take a camera phone, go outside, film a ant, all right, and you might get 1 million views of an ant crawling in the ant pile, all right. You know what I mean? You really could make 1 million views, millions of views off an ant going in the ant pile. I might do that tomorrow, all right. So they are not; these people are not doing that. They're here for the drama. They're here for the bull. You know what I'm saying? And this is what's going on with them. You know what I mean? So when your only talent is doxing people, bullying people online, you're gonna have a hard time with the AI. And the AI knows about Vegas, that Vegas thing that happened, that what happened in Las Vegas. You know what I mean? Now Lemon got his channel terminated the other day, and when he was talking about, oh, when you meet up in Las Vegas, like I was telling y'all in the live I did yesterday, the AI is a very complicated. It understands human psychology to a certain degree from a science perspective, and it's also a calculator. All right, and it do algorithms. So you keep saying Vegas and you saying pulling up and these type of things. The AI is going to be like, okay, we need to stop this. We already had an incident that involves the platform. We don't need this person saying these trigger words or saying these things. We don't need a repeat of this based off YouTube drama. All right. So if you're about the doxing and things like that, because your comedy game is weak, you're too shy to get on camera, you know what I mean? You really don't deserve to be on here. You know what I'm saying? And YouTube is like dropping people. You don't want to turn your camera on. People are going to be dropping. You're going to be dropping. All right. Your channel's going to drop. You know? And people that turn their camera on that don't mind showing themselves and showing YouTube that they're real, you know what I mean? Their stuff is going to go up and up and up and up. Now, the thing about it is that Google Gemini has about, I think, millions or trillions of tokens. My computer is a powerful graphics card that can run up to like maybe 40,000 tokens on it. And it can do all kind of essays and things like that, LLMs. It can teach me how to write, it could teach me how to make images and things like that. So that's just 40,000. It has trillions. I mean, it can sit there and watch every aspect of your video nowadays. And for me, I don't have no problem doing content. You know what I mean? I don't have no problem doing content. That's content. You know? Because it doesn't go outside of me talking about what I'm talking about. All right. Now let's briefly talk about Myjahnee and her lawsuits. Like we said before, and I don't want to repeat myself, Myjahnee has accused me of practicing law without a license, accused me of like perjury and other type of things. You know what I'm saying? And so whatever she wants to present, you know what I mean? I would just love to play the videos, because if you do that and you're threatening police and all that weird stuff, I got the transcript of your video. I got your video fully downloaded. You know what I'm saying? And it just will be entered into evidence. And I would just motion the judge to strike it based off everything that you said. You know what I'm saying? Case dismissed. You know what I mean? Because actually, it's time and it's stated, okay, that you was accusing me of, you know what I'm saying, actions of fraud, you know what I mean? Which practicing law without a license, which I kept telling you as a licensed attorney that is a lie, and you're educating the people and misscrewing the information. You know what I'm saying? And so now we have it where Solid Sunnnyi is terminated. You know what I'm saying? Again. And a big part of that is because they were over there conspiring, you know what I'm saying, trying to contact the feds with a person named DNA Dentures that this guy, we're just gonna do it like this. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, even me, I gotta watch myself. That guy over there from the beef sector, you know what I'm saying? That guy over there that, you know what I mean? That's somebody said, oh, he had a thumbnail of you as an emperor with a big booty with a robe with the split in it. You can see the booty check. I said, that's his imagination. I'm not going to sit there and make no AI of no fat booty man. You know what I'm saying? Like, Kiki said, I only have a big butt like that. She said, I'm built like a white man in the back. I don't know where he get that imagination from. You know, he was saying that I had breasts and some more things. I don't know what kind of like weird thing you got going on, playing with yourself, touching yourself, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I ain't going that way. You know what I'm saying? I'm really not. Thank you so much, Ruby King, for the $2 super chat. I greatly appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I don't know what he was thinking when it came down to that. So, yeah, so I guess he did a live. I didn't pay attention. Oh, let me go and see what he got to say. What is big booty, wide hips, all this sexual talk about under my clothes as a man. You know what I'm saying? You know, and most likely done talked about my ex-girlfriend, which he obsesses over. He been obsessing over for the past 3 years. You know what I'm saying? And her business. You know what I'm saying? Which is, I mean, he's fixated. You know what I mean? I don't get nothing from beefing with you. You had but 40 people in your chat. You know, you're not worth a mention. You're not. You know, you're not worth a mention. I didn't sit down and listen to that garbage. You know what I'm saying? I didn't sit down and listen to that garbage. Period. So, anyway, let's go ahead. I want to move forward with something. I'm going to give y'all some of the changes that have been taking place. Changes that have been taking place on YouTube. And I want y'all to understand the policies for a lot of content creators that are watching, because we do have people from the mommy sector here. The street sector is here. Everybody's here right now. And hold on, let me make sure I get everything. Thank you so much for that. Let me see what will get me up. Thank you so much, Shonda Davis, for the $5 super chat. So I'm gonna get a woman to read this time. We got the man always read. So I'm gonna have this. So I want y'all to hear the policy changes, and I don't have no problem with it. You know, I ain't never been terminated. Hey, you ain't gonna never catch me out of body on here like, oh my god, you know, I was so mad, I just had to do it. All right, so I'm gonna listen to it real quick.
What this means for authentic creators and for predatory ones. For creators who show themselves, speak openly, use their real identities, produce original content, and avoid harassment or doxing, this shift is largely good news. The flood of low-effort AI voiceover channels, faceless spam, and exploitative drama farms are now at risk of demonetization or deletion. Authentic channels now have a better...
All right, I want y'all to understand this is from Google Gemini. Pretty much, this is like a production from Google Gemini. I'm going to start it over so that you can have a full understanding of what Google Gemini is going to do in this new era of the Google Gemini Doomsday Apocalypse for low-effort drama channels, doxing channels, Judge FEFE type of channels, you know what I'm saying? Faceless channels. You know, pretty much all the haters that hate me, you know, those types.
What this means for authentic creators and for predatory ones. For creators who show themselves, speak openly, use their real identities, produce original content, and avoid harassment or doxing, this shift is largely good news. The flood of low-effort AI voiceover channels, faceless spam, and exploitative drama farms are now at risk of demonetization or deletion. Authentic channels now have a better chance to stand out, not because of noise, but because of substance. For creators banking on toxicity, harassment, mental games, doxing, outrage, or repeated drama, the platform is no longer a safe playground. AI-driven moderation doesn't sleep. It doesn't ignore patterns. It doesn't respond to threats. It spots coordinated behavior, predictive patterns of abuse, metadata leaks, and repeated infractions. Their anonymity, once their shield, now becomes their liability. Their dark comedy becomes a liability. In other words, the balance of power on the platform is shifting away from chaos engineers and toward creators who build and communicate with integrity. Brain-human psychology behind the shift, why it matters. From a psychological standpoint, the old model rewarded impulsivity, outrage, and drama. Audiences became trained on unpredictability. You shouted, you threatened, you doxed, you survived. That created a cycle. The louder the chaos, the more attention, the more money. It played on primal reactions: fear, schadenfreude, outrage, tribalism. But AI and structured
For those that don't know what schadenfreude means, that is the love of seeing someone fall, or love of destruction of a person or their feelings. And in short,
moderation interrupt that cycle. They introduce delayed gratification, authenticity incentives, and long-term reputational stakes. For creators, that means instead of shortcuts, fake drama, doxing, success depends on consistency, authenticity, real value. Instead of fear-based clicks, content must earn trust, psychological trust from the audience and institutional trust from the platform. Instead of emotional manipulation and spectacle, creators must rely on substance, story, insight, personality, realness. The algorithm, once complicit, now enforces discipline. And humans watching YouTube begin to respond differently. They may still click controversy, but fewer exploitative actors remain to supply it. There is also a shift in collective accountability. When harassment is flagged automatically, a creator inviting or orchestrating a mob cannot claim plausibly deniability. The psychological cloak of just drama falls off, exposing coordinated aggression for what it is: wrongdoing. White heavy checkmark what this means: actionable takeaways for creators and viewers. If you are a content creator on YouTube and want to thrive while keeping integrity, here's what to keep in mind. Use genuine voice, real identity, and real presence. YouTube's AI systems favor human authenticity over faceless automation. Avoid mass-produced templates, AI voiceover-only formats, or repetitive uploads. If you use AI tools, make sure you add substantial human input, commentary, editing, context. Make each video uniquely valuable. Never rely on drama, doxing, harassment, or shock content to build your channel. Those tactics increasingly carry risk for demonetization, removal, or even legal consequences. If you do use synthetic content for creative reasons, disclose it. Transparency helps avoid being flagged under altered/synthetic content rules. Engage responsibly. Treat comments, opponents, and critics as real humans. Avoid coordinated harassment or group-driven attacks. Uphold privacy and identity integrity. Do not share others' personal info. Stay within guidelines. For viewers, appreciate creators who show real faces, real voices, and real ideas. Support substance over spectacle. Demand transparency. Encourage accountability. Crystal ball the bigger picture: what Gemini means for YouTube's future. Gemini isn't just an AI tool. It represents a new era of platform accountability, digital ethics, and structural fairness. It raises the cost of cruelty, exploitation, and shallow content, and in doing so, elevates the value of human authenticity, creativity, vulnerability, and truth. YouTube in 2025 is not the same platform as YouTube in 2018. The wild west of digital pain, anonymity, and chaos is ending. A new frontier is emerging, one led by AI, structural rules, and a vision of content as creation rather than exploitation. For good creators, those who show themselves, speak honestly, build real connection, this is a moment of opportunity. The doors that once opened through shock now stay open through substance. The voices that once thrived in darkness are being replaced by voices that shine with clarity and integrity. For those who traded dignity for drama, identity for chaos, anonymity for attacks, the exit signs are on the horizon. And the AI is watching.
All right. So y'all heard it from Google Gemini itself. They heard it from the AI. All right. The changes that are coming to the platform. So there shouldn't be any discrepancies on what's going on. This is the change that is here. I'm embracing it. You know what I mean? The thing is, I could drop my link just like anybody else and we could have drama. We could do a lot of things or whatever. But as you see, we could turn up. Like somebody, the guy, I guess he was up there cussing at me, earlier today. Didn't listen to it. All I just saw was a thumbnail or whatever. I didn't care about it. But the thing is, that's no one cares about that. AI doesn't care about that. YouTube is not going to promote you for having a trash channel that promotes nothing but, that type of exploitation, vulgarity, and whatever. You know what I'm saying? And now you may have online communities that will support it, but eventually the AI is going to catch up with you and they're going to terminate your channel. Now, it was said today that Solid Sunnnyi did not, she haven't bothered nobody. That every time that lady was going live, she's been mentioning me and my ex-girlfriend's name every day. You know what I mean? But the thing about it is, you're going to sit there and call the FBI or y'all are playing around with the FBI with my name. You know what I mean? And I know that the things that you have done, you and that guy, y'all have produced child exploitative content, involving a minor. And that is the reason why you have lost your channels. You know what I mean? Your original reason why you lost your channels was because you were sexualizing underage children. You know what I mean? You was sitting there in front of your own children talking about the lesbian acts you would do to an African American woman and how you would work your tongue in front of your 8-year-old and 6-year-old. And that is one of the reasons you were reported to children people, you know what I'm saying? Missingexploitedchildren.org online for that particular reason. All right. Now, there's videos also of Judge FEFE, you know what I'm saying? Popping her child online. He's streaming loud or whatever. And y'all have those videos. You have every right to go and contact those people and let them know that, hey, this person has a social media presence, and you could let them know what URLs that woman has, and she's been online and she has exploited her son. I've heard it myself. It was over here in the Latrice Allen sector. You know what I'm saying? I don't have access to all of that. You know what I'm saying? What videos or whatever. I know some people do. But it's time to get these mentally ill creeps offline. You know what I mean? You as the subscribers have the power in your hands to be able to help the community. You know what I'm saying? Help the community, help the online community to be able to be safe here online. One thing y'all know about me, I'm not going to put your children up here. I'm not going to put your address up here. I can be mad as I want to. I might get out here and roast you or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And that's going to be the last resort as well. I'm going to try to work it out as much as I can. You know what I'm saying? But if people do want to beef, have back and forth, some of it is healthy content if it's done right. You know what I mean? But the thing is, we have a lot of sedentary people that have mental illness that get on Social Security for whatever reasons they have going on with them. They have a lot of they have mental issues. You know what I'm saying? They have mental issues. They'll be here from day to night, from early morning, they'll end the live like 4:30 in the morning, and 8 o'clock in the morning, they back on another live. You know what I'm saying? Like, their life is YouTube. The holiday weekend was here. Few of them never went ghost during the whole, from the morning to night. Where was your time spent with your family, your children, that a lot of you brag about? But no, a lot of y'all sit here online. You know what I'm saying? This is your life and things like that. You know, you really don't have the answer for being anywhere else on the planet besides YouTube all day. You know what I'm saying? Getting in the mess, getting into relationships that don't benefit you. And that's a form of mental illness. And a lot of y'all are feeling depressed. You see me cam up. You see other people cam up. You know, someone was saying that 74 overdresses. I'm like, how can you overdress for getting on YouTube? You know what I'm saying? I wish I overdressed every time I got up here. You know what I'm saying? So how can you do that? But that mindset is passe. This platform, YouTube, is not supporting that anymore. Twitch may be doing that type of stuff. Now, what I do recognize is social media platforms did that with. They did it with MySpace. When it got legitimate, MySpace was ratchet. Well, first off, College Club. College Club was ratchet, going way back. It was like Google, what was YouTube, was Yahoo Chats or whatever. I never was a part of that. But it was Yahoo Chats, College Club, then it graduated to MySpace. Then Facebook was gangster. Facebook used to have all kind of stuff. I didn't even know people even slept with animals until I was on Facebook. Y'all remember the stuff that went down on Facebook. Y'all same age as me. All right? Violence, people getting murdered. You know what I'm saying? Certain women laying down with animals, stuff like that. Any weird stuff, wild stuff that we never would see if it wasn't for social media. Then what Facebook, they went through and cleaned that all up. You know what I'm saying? Then they invented Instagram. All right? They invented Instagram. Then everybody ran over to Instagram. It was ratchet. You had Nature Boy over there, Queen Op. You had, if there was up there, people up there nude. They doing strip shows for free on Instagram. And then when Instagram built itself up, you know what? It cleaned everybody out. You know what I'm saying? And then people ran to TikTok. You know what I'm saying? Now that's built up. You know, they cleaning that up as well. You know, the ratchetness, yeah, they're going to use you and exploit you. You know what I mean? For that. But then now, what are you going to do? Now it's time to be a YouTuber and you're a troll. You're scared to show your face. You'll get dragged. You know what I mean? You'll get dragged. Somebody going to say that you're fat, you're ugly, or whatever. You know? That is your problem. You tied yourself to that type of content. You want to come out here doxing children. You want to sexualize kids. You know what I'm saying? And the YouTube algorithm, whether I do it or not. If I ain't got to ever do a flag ever again for the ops that have been taken down for the child stuff, you know what I mean? Google is going to do it to you. You know what I'm saying? Google, Gemini, understands that you do not belong on this platform. And that doxing thing is a thing of the past. It's going to slowly roll out, but they're going to make a believer out of certain people. You know what I mean? And Judge Flea, if you are listening, I suggest you remove that video of 74 on your page tonight. I would suggest you do that. I suggest that be, and not private it, because I got the whole video downloaded. So if you private it, I got the timestamps, the transcript, where everything at. It don't matter. It doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? So I suggest that you remove it. You inserted yourself into something that had nothing to do with you. Maybe you thought you was going to get your channel off the ground, have some clout or whatever. What you got is a strike. That's what you got. You got a strike. You already got lawsuits coming your way. You know what I mean? But maybe you don't care. You know what I mean? Worry about what happened to that lady that exposed your nudes out here online and got you at a spread eagle. And everybody got to see the black rust on this side of the leg and the black rust and corrosion on this side of the leg. You know what I'm saying? And your stuff was out there for the public consumption. All right? So, you know, I think we about to hit the hour mark. You know what I mean? Ain't too much to say after that. You know what I mean? I proved my point on things. I appreciate everybody. Make sure you hit the like button for the free 99. We should, hopefully we got over 200 likes. You know what I'm saying? Let's see where we at with the likes. And thank y'all so much for, you know, I think we about to hit the hour mark. You know what I mean? Ain't too much to say after that. So before I go, I'll play the intro again if y'all want to hang out. But before I go, I want y'all to hit that like button. We got 180 likes from what I can see. Let's, you know what I'm saying, we got 265 people here. Let's please, can we get the likes up over 200? You know what I'm saying? Keep me in the algorithm. If you're on your cell phone, hype me up. And I greatly appreciate. Thank you for all the donators. I try my best to reinvest into the platform. And also, yes, I did talk about yesterday. Let me talk about this. Yesterday, I did talk about, for those that are in the street sector, y'all have lost y'all way. You know what I mean? Nobody's doing no reviews on nothing. You know what I mean? The dramas are petty, you know, in small channels. This channel got 4 people in the chat. This person beefing with that person with 4 people in the chat. And when you got new people coming into the space and they're doing reviews and they're getting 30, 40,000 views. You know what I mean? What's the problem? So, you know, I'm going to open up the street sector again as the divine emperor and head leader, you know, HINC in charge. You know what I mean? We're going to start doing some street sector content. I'm not back and forth with no content creator. I don't care. I won't respond. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to do street sector content that involves some of the stuff Marcus got going on, other people, you know what I'm saying, got going on. I'm going to do some reviews and things like that. You know what I mean? And because it's the space that we created together, and along with Marcus, I said to y'all, we should appreciate that we, like, I had somebody talk, you know, guess was like, oh, you know, guy with like 20,000 subs that been here for 1 trillion years, you know, talking shit. And I'm like, we got Marcus that claims to be part of the street sector. He hits links, love him or hate him or whatever. But at the end of the day, you know what I mean? He can help you get your channel into the mainstream of things. I'm seeing too many people floating and moving into different spaces that aren't safe. You know what I'm saying? That aren't safe on the internet. And one thing I say about the street sector, the content creators do have problems with each other, but we rarely target subscribers. Okay? We rarely target subscribers. And target subscribers are not really somebody that, you know, you beat up on. Other spaces, they'll just exploit that person, you know. So I'm gonna start thinking about some of the things that content we could come up with and get things going. What other channels got going on and what they want to report on, that's their business. But I will do sometimes some reviews on not just Marcus stuff, but appreciate street set. You should appreciate the fact that you do have Marcus, a guy with 200,000 subscribers. That doesn't he'll come hit your link. You know what I mean? That's a flex. You know what I'm saying? It is a flex. So I mean, that's not hate. That's not hate, right? You know what I mean? I'll be the first to say the man got problems, but you know what I mean? He has been a supporter of pretty much everybody, down to Brown Eye. You know, y'all know the names. Down to Brown Eye with the smallest channel. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you see him over there. So in whatever capacity. So respect that we have our own space as well. You know what I mean? I move around. That's no big deal. But respect that, y'all. Get the likes up. I'm headed out. I'm gonna go ahead and play the intro for y'all if y'all didn't hear it. And I'm gonna close it out after that. Go here.
There are corners of the internet that never appear in headlines, yet shape the unfiltered underbelly of online culture. These corners thrive in chaos, places where anonymity becomes armor, conflict becomes currency, and the loudest voices often rise from the darkest shadows. For years, small clusters of these creators operated freely, untouched and unexamined, tucked beneath the radar of mainstream digital law enforcement. Their world was built on drama, impersonation, provocation, humiliation, and escalating personal attacks. All broadcast lived to cheering audiences who treated each meltdown like primetime entertainment. But in the year 2025, something changed. Something systemic, larger than any creator, larger than any feud, larger than the algorithms they once manipulated. A new force had entered the YouTube ecosystem, a force called Google Gemini, and the ripples of that change would collide with one of the most chaotic, volatile, and self-destructive subcultures in the platform's history. A micro sector of dark comedy, pseudo-legal posturing, livestream gambling, cruel exposes, fake trials, and weaponized personal information. The story begins long before Gemini was activated. It begins with a woman, an attorney, or at least a woman presenting herself as one who had discovered that the drama sector of YouTube was more profitable than any courtroom. She did not simply comment on conflict, she escalated it. She framed herself as a legal authority, a woman capable of delivering judgments against creators she disliked, and positioned her live streams as a kind of moral tribunal. Each broadcast intensified, each accusation grew more theatrical, and her audience, hungry for spectacle, watched as her rhetoric sharpened into something far more dangerous. From her platform, she spoke not with evidence but with performance. She invoked prosecutors, detectives, and unnamed legal teams as if they were soldiers standing behind her. She declared she was going after creators, that she would shut channels down, and announced plans to file lawsuits against anyone who criticized her. Soon, a narrative formed. She was the moral warrior, and anyone who opposed her was part of a criminal conspiracy. But dramatic monologues rarely remain solitary. They pull in collaborators, voices eager to amplify the chaos. One such collaborator was a digital provocateur known as Judge Ninja Turtle. A personality in her own right, she enjoyed the role of hype woman, punctuating the attorney's accusations with threats of her own. In one live stream, her voice sharpened as she delivered a chilling proclamation, "I got something for Octavius." The chat erupted. No one questioned what she meant. In a world built on passive aggression and veiled threats, everyone already understood. And that was where the escalation began. Hours later, another figure entered the fray. Judge FEFE, a creator whose online presence was already marred by allegations of harassment and reckless commentary. Where others hinted, she acted. She posted what would become the turning point of the entire saga: the full name, address, and personal financial information of a YouTube creator known as Octavius Prime, as well as similar information belonging to a creator known simply as 74. In the dark corners of YouTube, doxing was not new, but this instance was different. Not just because of the severity of the leak, but because of the timing, the method, and the disturbing coordination of voices linked to the attorney's circle. The doxing did not arrive as a random act of trolling. It arrived immediately after the public threats, in the dark corners of the attorney's escalating rhetoric, immediately after Judge Ninja Turtle's message, "I got something for Octavius." For observers, the pattern was undeniable. And yet, in 2025, this type of incident no longer lived in a vacuum. Because while the attorney and her affiliates escalated, another force quietly watched from the shadows, not a person but a system, a neural architecture. A machine designed to detect patterns far more subtle, far more insidious than human moderators could track. That system was Gemini. And Gemini had begun to reshape YouTube in ways most people never anticipated. For years, YouTube struggled to control its most toxic subcultures. Policies existed, but enforcement was inconsistent. Harassment, doxing, child sexualization, hate speech. These issues festered in the algorithmic blind spots. Creators who operated in these sectors learned how to evade detection. They used coded language, inside jokes, proxy channels, and live streams that expired before human review could catch them. But Gemini changed the game. A multimodal model trained on trillions of tokens, Gemini was capable of analyzing audio tone, text patterns, video cues, comment behavior, metadata anomalies, and behavioral clustering, all in real time. It could detect harassment dynamics before humans recognized the pattern. It could identify coordinated behavior across multiple channels. It could detect doxing attempts from speech alone, even when no text appeared on screen. It could recognize sexual reference patterns involving minors, no matter how coded or jokingly the creators tried to frame them. And in 2025, when Gemini fully integrated with YouTube's moderation system, the platform underwent what many would later call Gemini's doomsday. The collapse of artificially inflated channels, drama sectors, and creators who thrived on harassment. Channels that once seemed unstoppable suddenly vanished. Creators who had manipulated the algorithm for years found their live streams flagged before they ended. Platforms that allowed cruelty became silent. And the attorney's world, a world held together by outrage, intimidation, and moral theater, was directly in Gemini's path. The doxing incident triggered something new: an AI-assisted investigation. When private information is posted online, multiple levels of policy enforcement are activated. Human reviewers examine the reports. But in the 2025 system, Gemini also performs parallel scans across every instance of the leaked data. It scans voice transcripts, text overlays, chats, superchats, descriptions, and even background audio for matching digits, names, geographic markers, or financial identifiers. This is not simply conflict. This is a federal matter. Doxing crosses state lines. A person in one state leaks the information of a target in another. The servers hosting the leak operate across multiple jurisdictions. The information posted includes financial, medical, or identifying data. The intent appears retaliatory or malicious. Under these conditions, doxing is not merely a violation of YouTube policy. It intersects with federal cybercrime statutes including interstate harassment laws, cyberstalking provisions, identity exposure and financial privacy acts, unauthorized disclosure of personally identifiable information, and Gemini recognized those patterns. This time, the machine did not merely detect a violation, it detected an escalation, a network, a pattern of intimidation, a cluster of creators repeatedly targeting the same individuals. The attorney's live streams were flagged for aggressive rhetoric. Judge Ninja Turtle's broadcast was scanned for threatening tone and predictive linguistics. Judge FEFE's exposure of personal data triggered automatic privacy reports. And then came something unexpected, something the attorney's circle never anticipated. Their own past behavior resurfaced. In the shadows of this escalating conflict, an earlier case emerged. A creator known as Solid Sunnnyi, previously terminated for sexualized comments involving a child, had attempted to return using a new channel. He had once made statements referencing a 3-year-old boy in disturbing, sexualized ways. He had once spoken about lesbian acts he would perform in front of children. And for a moment, he resurfaced through loopholes. But Gemini caught him. His channel, nearing 3,000 subscribers, was shut down once again, this time instantly under the platform's circumvention of termination rule. What once required extensive human review now took seconds. It was not personal, it was not political, it was algorithmic inevitability. And so the attorney, once a force, once a feared figure in her sector, now found herself inside a shrinking world. A world where Gemini judged actions, not theatrics. A world where psychological manipulation no longer granted immunity. A world where the platform that once rewarded drama now punished it. Gemini watched her live streams. It tracked her claims of legal power. It documented her escalation. It connected her proximity to doxing behavior, not as a judge, not as a human, but as a machine calculating risk patterns and policy violation probability. Meanwhile, creators like Octavius Prime, clear-voiced, on-camera, transparent, fit smoothly into the new era. His presence was visible, his identity was open. He did not rely on drama. He did not weaponize anonymity. His content aligned with the human side of YouTube's updated framework: authenticity, commentary, long-form storytelling. In the new AI-centered ecosystem, authenticity became a currency, and anonymity, once used as a shield for cruelty, began to collapse. Creators who once felt untouchable now found themselves fragile. The attorney's threats sounded hollow. Judge Ninja Turtle's declarations lost momentum. Judge FEFE's doxing became evidence. Because Gemini is not intimidated by theatrics, it does not get tired, bored, or distracted. It does not misplace reports. It does not negotiate. Where humans saw drama, Gemini saw pattern recognition. And it acted. This is where the story shifts, not toward revenge, not toward retribution, but toward consequence. Doxing is now a red line on YouTube, not just a community guideline, but a trigger for deeper review, potential platform bans, and in severe cases, referral to external agencies. The platform no longer tolerates creators using private information as a weapon. It no longer excuses harassment disguised as commentary. It no longer allows predators to return under new channels. The attorney's ecosystem, built on intimidation and amplified by her affiliates, collided with the future of digital accountability. Their world was analog. Gemini's world is algorithmic, and algorithmic systems do not bend for ego. They follow pattern, they follow probability, they follow the code. In the end, the attorney's constant threats of lawsuits became ironic, because while she claimed to bring legal action against YouTube creators, the platform's AI began documenting her behavior for them. This is Gemini's doomsday, the moment an entire dark sector discovered that artificial intelligence had rendered their tactics obsolete. And in the quiet aftermath, as channels vanish, streams are removed, and creators scatter into uncertainty, one truth remains: the era of unregulated digital cruelty is ending, and the machine has already taken its seat on the throne.
All right, y'all. I appreciate y'all coming out tonight. I appreciate all the donators and the subscribers, the members, and things like that. Look for me also. Sometimes I do pop up on my backup channels, and I'll be over there from time to time. I'll be over there a lot more, especially since I'm exercising. And we got the equipment to sound good outside. So appreciate everybody. Have a wonderful night. Happy holidays to everybody that passed. You know what I'm saying? Happy birthday to everybody in the month of December. I mean, shout out to everybody. I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much.